Hey guys, Tatiana Ward here, aka BEATFACEHONEY. Okay, so many of you have been watching me from the very beginning. I started my videos in 2010. February 1st, 2010 was my very first YouTube video, which is mind-blowing. Like, I am legit like a YouTube dinosaur. I can't believe that I have been coming into you guys' homes and on your computers for 10 years. It's totally mind-blowing, and I can't friggin' believe it. So in those 10 years, I have made some videos that have really stood out. And to celebrate those 10 years, I want to kind of remake some of those videos. Honestly, I don't know if it's my video with the most views, but I do know that it's the video that I get the most comments on and people remark the most about my what's in my kit video. How to build a professional makeup kit. When you guys stop me on the street, when you guys hit up my DMs, when you guys come to me and say, oh my God, I've been watching you for so long, you're either telling me one of two things. You're saying, you taught me everything I knew about makeup in the very beginning, or you're saying, you helped me build my very first makeup kit. And I can't tell you how good that feels. Starting your makeup kit is like the hardest thing to do. I remember that struggle well. I remember feeling overwhelmed. And back then, we didn't even have as much product as we have now. I just wouldn't even want to be you guys if I was trying to become a makeup artist with the amount of information that's out there. It's amazing to have this much information that YouTube supplies and the internet supplies, but it's also, I'm sure, even more overwhelming. Back when I started, I was going off of books and trial and error. And of course, a lot has changed since then. I don't carry the same products that I used to. For the most part, my kit has evolved, and there are some staples that I have always kept. But even with everything that's changed, the basics are still pretty much the same. So in this video, I am going to walk you through what is in my kit at the present day. Yes, it is ever changing, but this video will be just as relevant as my last. And I'm gonna link that video, the old one that's 7 years old. I'm gonna link that somewhere in this video so that you can watch it. Those of you who are beginning, you can see what I began with. And I think it's really, really important and also really encouraging to see the simplicity of what my kit was and, you know, to watch this video and learn about what I'm using now. And nothing is ever set in stone. You curtail this whole thing to suit your needs. That's the thing about makeup, and that's the thing about art, is that it's different and unique for every person. Some things I'll swear you have to get, but in the end, it's really up to you. So I'm gonna start by just showing you my actual kit. I'm gonna open it up for you guys to see what it looks like when it's open. I'm going to take my camera down to show you that now. Okay, so there it is. This is a carry-on size suitcase. It's nothing extravagant. I got this one from Target. I think I paid 120 bucks for it. There's nothing particularly standoutish about this suitcase. I have had many suitcases through the years that I carry my makeup in. There are a few particulars about the suitcases that I choose to purchase for my kit. One of those things is that the wheels, it has to be double wheels. I really look at the wheels. I look at how sturdy it is because I'm carrying a lot of heavy material in it. And the thing that happens with the suitcase, 9 times out of 10, if I'm replacing my suitcase, it's because one of the wheels has broken. 2 or 3 months. If you check the bag, they don't care about it. They throw it all over the place, and I would always check my bags. And I would end up with a bum wheel eventually. But nonetheless, the carry-on suitcase is always like the best bet when it comes to traveling with the makeup. So let's go ahead and open it up. You'll see that this one is called Swiss Gear. I don't really care about the compartments on this flap because no matter what I put in there, it's not like that was a selling aspect or like a reason that I purchased it. I don't really care about them because the more that I shove into these pockets, the harder it is to close the flap. So that's why I just have sponges in there. Here's a pack of my wipes. Tissues, you always need spare tissues. My wipes are always going to be Neutrogena wipes. You'll notice that I store them upside down because I like for all of the liquid to go to the top wipe. And storing them upside down keeps the wipe on top juicy. But yeah, you'll notice that when I open this, if I were to pack that full of stuff, I couldn't cram as much stuff into this compartment. So when I open up this, you'll notice just packs of makeup. I like clear packs because clear packs allow me to just see what it is and grab it. And on the other side, it's basically the same stuff, but one huge difference. Wrapped inside of this towel is my lighting. And then the length of the suitcase carries my lighting stand. And there is my lighting cord and my cape. So let's get into this. I'm going to switch the camera back to the other so I can really show you in detail some of the stuff that's in my bag of goodies here. So the very first thing I'm going to talk about is one of those things that carried with me all through these years. 7 years ago when I posted my first What's in My Kit, I used this product and I'm still using them to this day. My Zuka bags. Obviously, it's gotten a lot of wear. These are like super old. I've had them for years. I haven't purchased any new ones probably in 5 or 6 years. It is absolutely time, though, that I replace them because they're looking pretty dingy. What I love most about these bags is that it's clear, so I can see exactly what I'm going for. And then also on the inside of the bag, it is lined with plastic. So if something were to bust or break, it's easier to clean than just a cloth bag. These bags have a little handle that you can grab them by, and it also just makes it so much easier to keep your kit sort of uniform. When things are all the same size, it just makes it easier to organize. So what you're looking at in particular, this one is my eyeshadow bag. That's how I keep them lined up. I keep eyeshadow in one Zuka bag, I keep skin in another, I keep face powders in another, I keep lips in another, so that I know, you know, at the sight of it, it's see-through so I can see. That's my eyes bag. That's my skin bag, you know? In my first How to Build Your Professional Makeup Kit, I was working with strippers. That was my clientele. That was my venue. So what I was carrying at that time was reflective of that scene. I had a lot of rhinestones and glitter. And although I still do carry those things, I don't carry nearly as much. So the fact that right on top are these neon colors, that's not what my kit looked like for a long time. I just got these. These are the Helen E, some Helen E neon pigments. I requested them because I want to start doing more colorful looks for you guys. But I have gotten by, especially doing celebrities, without any crazy makeup. The difference between the two styles, you know, you would imagine working in a nightclub, it was more dramatic stuff. There's nothing that's really like all the time I have to have, with the exception of my Urban Decay Blackout. That's my favorite black that I always use. I can't seem to find it right now. Urban Decay are still some of my favorite eyeshadows. I like to keep like one little palette of blues and then another little palette of purples. Purple's like a universal color. If somebody's looking for color, I will go to purple in a heartbeat because it just looks good on every single skin tone. But I have a couple palettes like this dedicated to one color. This Sephora Pro Palette is one that I can't live without. It's amazing for transitional colors. This one's really important and a real staple, something that I go to frequently, something that I have purchased more than once. I purchased my first Morphe palettes like a couple months ago. Very first Morphe product that I've ever used. I really like them. I've been loving this one. This is the 350 Bronze Goals palette from Morphe. This one is excellent also. Definitely super satisfied with their product and also really love the packaging. I'm gonna go for this kind of slender palette because it takes up so little room. So I have all of these colors and just sleek packaging is where it's at for me and for being able to optimize my space. This big palette I don't really use as much. And it's not because the colors aren't pretty or whatever. It's just because, I don't know, I just haven't really had any use for it yet. A palette like this is too long to fit into my Zuka bag, so it ends up just being stacked at the bottom of my kit, but I'm okay with that. These are just a few of Urban Decay's heavy metal glitter liners. You never know when you're gonna need some glitter. I also have another bag that's got glitters. I put glitters in a plastic bag inside of my lip kit, but like I said, I don't really carry a whole lot of glitters. Still love my MAC paint pots. I think I'm always gonna carry them because for all 10 years that I've been doing makeup, I relied on them. I am branching out into new primers though, which is why I'm excited to try the Helen E product. I'm gonna show you something else that I've been using as a primer lately, which is shocking to me because I never thought that I would do it, but you know, evolution is good. So in the beginning of my makeup journey, eyes was way more important to me. Then once I started making the transition into doing celebrity, eyes took a real backseat to skin. Most of the clients were not asking for dramatic eyes, and they wanted simple eyes, and they wanted flawless skin. So eyes has not been a focal point for me for many years, but I'm excited to just kind of get back to the artistry of makeup and start bringing you guys vibrant colors. So that's why my eye kit isn't that extensive right now, because it didn't matter for a long time. Brushes are so important, and I keep them in a Zuka bag just like I keep everything else. I have so many brushes. Makeup Forever, Sigma, Cosmetics, and MAC are mainly the brushes that are in my kit. I'm really excited to get some Real Technique brushes that I see everybody using. And I love Pixie Woo. They've been around just as long as I've been around. Super proud of them for developing that line. And I'm getting some of them in the mail really soon that I'll be excited to try out. Brushes are super important. It's all about how you use them. I have a video where I detail the brushes that I use the most and how to use them. I'll link that somewhere in here so you can check that out. Let me know if you want me to make an updated video. You can always do that. And old habits die hard. I tend to carry more product than I need to carry. And I caught myself the other day and I was like, I'm lugging way too much crap around. When I worked at the strip club, my mentality was I never know who's gonna come through that door. You just don't know who's gonna wanna get their makeup done. Also, it's like a revolving door in any strip club you go to, where girls come from out of town and they're just in town for a couple nights. You know, it's faces that you've never seen before and they come and go. There's the regulars that you know are going to be there, are going to be working, and it's a possibility that they're going to want their makeup done, but then there's new faces every night. So I would pack so much makeup so that I was never without. I carry that mentality with me into doing celebrity, and I know that I'm only going to do, you know, Keisha Cole, who's so fair skinned, but I still bring the darkest foundation that I can find, which is good because one night, you know, like example, she was like, oh, Remy Ma's here. That's my friend, can you do her makeup? And I was prepared. But that is like the one time that that ever happened. Pulling back, you know, just like when you're packing for vacation, I'm the girl that brings 30 freaking pairs of white shirts. And then of course you only end up using one and you're lugging your stupid big suitcase all over the place, whatever. So it's a constant battle for me to just cut back and not bring everything that I need. So I'm trying to keep my skin bags separate, like light and Caucasian in one bag, brown skin to dark skin in another bag. The client that I'm working with right now on a regular basis is Karen Huger from Real Housewives of Potomac. She is fair skin. There's no reason that I should be bringing a dark skin makeup, so lately I have not been. But some things are just staples amongst the two bags. I will forever and ever love Studio Finish concealers from MAC. These are something that it just never stops. I never stop loving these. It's what I'm wearing right now. It's what I carry in my kit. I like to carry the little palettes that they make, again, because it just makes it easier. The packaging makes it easier. It's sleek. You have 6 in 1. Done. Okay, so the product that I told you guys that I'm using as a primer these days is something that I did not like in the very beginning, but I grew to really love. And that is the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealers. I never thought that I would use a concealer as a primer because it just never made any sense to me how people would do that. It's like that is something that's wet that you have to set, and I just couldn't figure it out. But this product dries kind of quickly and it's mattifying. So if you're using it as a concealer, yes, you still have to set it. And it's always a good idea to set your concealer. But when I'm using it in a primer, the eyeshadow is kind of setting it. And it's not like my Studio Finish concealer from MAC that just is a wet emollient product. This is way less wet. I definitely love those. And this is just sort of a look into it. You see, these are my Nars Foundations that I love so much. Radiant Longwear Foundation. Gotta love them. Those Urban Decay concealers. A random bronzer that made its way in that I like. Yeah, but mainly this is like just skin stuff. A few powders from Koivoka. And this is you see it's faded, but child, it works. It's a privately owned company that makes amazing powders. I will use this one, which is called the Light Setting Powder. I'll mix that with Sacha Buttercup. Yeah, I need to replace these because they're looking rather raggedy. So yeah, good stuff in there. I packed just for my client. So these are things that I wasn't using. I just kind of like threw in together. I'm always doing something to my kit. I'm always like rearranging it for whatever gig I'm going to. So the way that this bag looks right now, it doesn't necessarily look that way all the time. What I just said kind of like doesn't make sense, I guess, because things are mixed together there, but I do normally keep them like light skin and then dark skin. Anastasia blush kits are something that I carry all the time. I love her blushes. I mean, I could carry just them and I'm good. I can cover like anybody from the lightest to the darkest skin. Carrying Ziploc bags is just like a must. I'm always carrying loose Ziploc bags because you would be surprised how many things you'll just need a Ziploc bag for. This, however, is a bag of Melanie Mills Gleam. She makes the best shimmers, so if you need to make somebody's legs or arms shimmery, that's what I use. I just recently put my lips in a smaller bag because I realized that like half the lips that I was carrying around I didn't need. I mostly just use nudes. So I have pencils and a lot of Huda lipsticks, liquid lipsticks. I like her liquid lipsticks a lot. My pencils are mainly MAC, some Urban Decay. Pencils in one bag and just like some lip glosses in another. These are some great Huda nudes. Girlfriend, Crush, Muse, MAC Velvet Teddy. It's just like a must. Like this and Chestnut liner is pretty much what I use on like everybody. This little cloth Sigma bag has become my eyebrow bag as of recently. Inside of it, I have mascara, clear brow gel. One thing I can't live without is my Anastasia scissors. They're so, like, if you're trimming eyebrows, if you're trimming a lash, these are just so good. And they're mad old, like, these are old and they still are sharp and crisp. Rocket Volume Mascara by Maybelline, still one of my favorites. I never really got into brow dips, but I want to start trying to use them. I'll probably go to Anastasia, but my favorite pencil still to this day is MAC Spiked. If I'm trying to lighten somebody's brow, I'll use this brow gel from MAC called Girl Boy. 24-hour brow set from Benefit. Love that. Something that's super important, I always carry a towel. And that's basically your placemat. You never know where the client is going to ask you to set up, so you should always have a towel to rest your product on. Now, as far as my lighting, this is so important. I searched high and low for a light stand that could fit in a carry-on suitcase, and this is what I found. I have an Amazon link below to some of these products that are kind of like hard to find. This is the Manfrotto 5001B. It's like the exact length of a carry-on. So it's a bit of a struggle to get it to fit, but it fits. It's also super sturdy and has done me very well for many years. Whatever lighting you get will attach to this. My favorite light is my 12-inch Stellar ring light. It comes with its own stand, but It is, frankly, okay quality, but it's not the best quality stand. This is a far better quality stand, and it's condensed. So the stand that the Stellar one comes with, I can't fit in a carry-on bag. So to this day, my favorite lighting is always going to be a ring light. The ring light is lightweight and it doesn't get hot. And that's what I love about it. The 12-inch ring light that you can get from Stellar Lighting, that was my favorite to travel with for many years, I broke it. I broke it one time and I never got it back again. I don't know why. It's one of those things that, like, I just don't know why I never got it back again. I think probably because as much as I prefer it over any other light, it does fit into my carry-on, but it was bulkier and it was a tighter squeeze. So once that ring light broke and I just had to use something else right away, I went back to the light that I put down for the ring light. Once I got the ring light, I stopped using this. However, the perks of this is that it is so condensed and it literally just fits into a pocket in you know, or a corner in my kit. This is the Lowell Toda. It is a photography light. The downside to this is that the light is very orange. I did all my research and found out that you can't, for this particular lighting, get any kind of white or even blue lighting. It's gonna be an orange light, and that is really a downside to this. The second downside is that it gets mega hot. It can be on for 2 seconds and it gets so hot. This has lasted me for many years. When you turn it on, it is so bright, it lights up the darkest place. Like there's 20 Christmas trees in it. Like, it's just so bright. That's what I love about it. But, you know, the pros and cons, I would much prefer the ring light. And if I was willing to get a slightly bigger kit, then that would be problem solved, because the ring light, you know, I would have a little bit more give. But the ring light that I'm using right now is the 13-inch or whatever the next size up ring light is. That's what I film with. Like, you know, that's my favorite, but that's definitely too big for me to carry. I keep a little bag dedicated to lashes. My favorite lashes that I'm wearing right now. Love lashes. These are the Dallas lashes from Love Lashes. You can get 10% off of them as well by using the code BEATFACEHONEY when you go to purchase. There will be a link down below. I keep good old hair glue because I don't care. Hair glue works. I say it all the time. If Nicki Minaj could request hair glue and ask me to use hair glue for applying her lashes, then it's good enough for you. But I also keep a clear glue just in case. Good old Duo. Oh, favorite brush cleaner. Still to this day, that's something that stayed consistent with my first video. Cinema Secrets brush cleaner. It is the best, hands down, and it smells amazing, and it's antibacterial. It's just awesome. It's quick drying. There will be a link also down below to where you can get that on Amazon. Something I can't live without. Something I won't live without. Something that I'll never ever live without. My black Opal cream sticks. I put a link below to a container similar to this one. I depotted them and I put them in here. This is a foundation that I use as foundation and concealer. One of the best things that there is, and the joy of Black Opal, is that it is a drugstore product and they are $9 each. You can see here that I labeled them on the back. So obviously it didn't come that way, the packaging. And this package is only like no more than 10 bucks. Such a versatile product. I would say 99.999 faces that I touch, I'm using Black Opal. Even if I use my Nars Radiant Glow on the skin, I'm probably using this as a contour or as a concealer or as a highlight or something. I'm always using this. I don't really use setting spray, but if somebody requests it, I like to have it on hand. This is Urban Decay's De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray and Oil Control. My sanitary bag, or like the bag that I keep like sanitary stuff in. Something you gotta keep with you is a little bottle of 91 proof alcohol. That breaks up my gel liner. So if I'm doing somebody's face and I'm using an angled brush and I'm using my my favorite liner is Inglot's number 77 gel liner, nothing will get the product off of the bristles like 91 proof alcohol will. I put it in a little spray bottle. And to sanitize things, this is something you guys taught me because I never knew it. But I mentioned in another video that I used this to sanitize and people were like, actually 91 proof alcohol does not sanitize anything. I didn't know that. It is only 70% alcohol that sanitizes. I don't know the science behind that. I'm sure somebody will explain it in the comments below. But to sanitize, I use this. This is just an alcohol wipe for pencils and lipsticks. Mascara, disposable mascara wands. Also, your spatula is super important. Put a link down below for that. This is what I use to mix foundations together on the back of my hand. You'll want to have a metal palette as well. The one that I put in the description box comes with both the metal palette and the spatula. Yeah, there's the metal plate. What else? I just have like a brand new chapstick. Sometimes somebody's gonna ask you for a chapstick. I'll keep one in there. It's like the cheap kind. This is my favorite chapstick though that you get from like the beauty supply store. That cocoa butter chapstick. Bomb. Razors so that I can razor somebody's eyebrow. I was thinking about it the other day, and that's how I do my eyebrows is I razor them. If you want me to do a tutorial on how I razor eyebrows, let me know. Two powders I love and can't live without. Sacha Buttercup and Laura Mercier translucent powder, setting powder. I always keep some kind of fan, which is good to just hand your client if they're hot. Also, there's times like, if I'm using Duo lash glue and it doesn't become tacky right away, it's nice to be able to just fan it. Make sure that you guys check out the description box below for links to certain items that I talked about. Also, make sure that you're following me on Instagram, and I know that I haven't been on Snapchat for a long time, but I'm gonna try to get back to it. I hope this was helpful. I hope it's just as helpful as my first video like it. I hope that it helps you guys just as much as the first one did. Comment below and let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if the first video was helpful. Tell me a little bit about your story and how this or the previous helped you guys. Leave me a comment. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you right back here soon.